silence. It puts machine shops all around the world on edge, because if your spindles aren't turning, that clock starts ticking. You're losing money, you're missing deadlines, you're putting your customers' trust on the line. And if you have a bandsaw in your machine shop, you know this is the first step in the machining process. And if this thing isn't running, you're not shipping parts. But what can we do other than just sit around, wait for something to break, scramble to go fix it? What is a way? What's a smarter, better way to keep our equipment up and running? That's what I'm here to figure out. I'm here at a machine shop where we're gonna be hitting the bandsaw, we're gonna be tackling these issues and really rethinking preventive maintenance on our equipment. You and I, we're gonna be learning how to minimize downtime in your shop. Cameron, good to have you here. I wish it was on better circumstances,
Okay.
Because I got lined down. At my machine shop, parts aren't shipping, machines aren't running because my bandsaw is down. What are some reasons you've seen this like in real life?
Yeah, sure, Jacob. There's always a few key things. One could be that the shop's too busy to shut their saw down and not keeping up with the routine maintenance. They could be facing labor shortages and not using trained operators, or they may no longer have dedicated maintenance person on staff.
All of that kind of sums up to me just to cost. Cost this way, cost that way. What's the way that the Lenox team, though, can help besides providing just an awesome blade?
Yeah, we've always supported our customers with our legacy 13-point check, but now we've evolved. We're listening to what our customers' needs are. Our Sawing Solutions group now has the ability to implement what we're calling our Plus services.
Nice.
This is a team of OEM trained specialists that will go into your facility and they'll do all the work for you. We're finding that it's a more cost-effective way of doing the maintenance versus keeping full-time maintenance people on staff.
And besides that, I feel like it's also you're taking, quite honestly, the burden of knowledge away from the shop that they would have to distribute to their employees who are already busy doing so much other work. And you, as the product specialists, the experts, are taking that upon yourselves to get the job done.
Yeah, we always see ourselves as a subject matter expert in front of the bandsaw, whether it's training the operators, teaching them the best feeds and speeds, best sawing practices, and then also on the actual working of the bandsaw, making sure it's working at its best optimal performance.
Today, we're going to be seeing that 13-point check though, correct?
Yeah, let's go out there and take a look at what the application specialists look for.
Yeah, I'm down.
Let's go. Jacob, let's take a look at some of those 13 points.
This is where it's happening?
This is it.
All right, so we're gonna get after that 13-point inspection we were talking about in the room. We're gonna get after how to get a bandsaw, preventive maintenance, up and running, stay running. This will be sweet.
Typically, heat and vibration are the two worst enemies of a blade. So we would generally start with the band wheels.
Okay.
So we're gonna be taking a look at the wheel bearings, make sure they're nice and tight. We're gonna be looking at the surface of the band wheel, make sure it's wearing evenly.
Cool.
And then we're gonna be making sure that the blade is tracking properly on that wheel itself. And then obviously with heat being a major component of sawing, you wanna make sure your fluid is set up properly and make sure that it's mixed at the right ratio, flowing through the coolant valves and into the workpiece. Another big component on a saw are gonna be the blade guides. So these are little carbide pads here. You wanna make sure that those are wearing evenly. You wanna make sure there's no corners chipped. Blade tension is very important. So we're gonna take our tension meter, we're gonna check the stretch of the blade in between the guides. If that's set properly, it's gonna get us a nice square cut. We also have the blade guide alignment. So we'll drop the head of the saw, butt a square up against that. We wanna make sure the blade is positioned 90 degrees to the bed of the saw. The blade tracking system I mentioned earlier, but we wanna make sure that that blade is positioned properly on the band wheel. The drive system is obviously important. The motor, the transmission, make sure that they're operating properly. The chip removal system is very important and oftentimes overlooked. That chip brush sometimes is removed. It's oftentimes dropped out of the way and not positioned properly back to the blade itself. Band speed verification, we're gonna take our tachometer. We're gonna take we're gonna put it up against the blade while it's running. And we're gonna compare it to our blade verification meter over there to make sure that they agree with one another. Obviously, the control panel components, the feed system is very important. So we got a feed pressure and a feed rate control valve. We want to make sure that when we're making those adjustments, the saw reacts accordingly. Oh, also very important would be your vices. Make sure they're clamping the parts tightly. Obviously with vibration, that's the enemy of a blade. Anytime a part moves, you're generally gonna lose blade life.
Now that is a process, and a very well done one at that. Brother, usually what would happen next is you drop off a report on my desk, and that's that. With this new Plus program with Lenox, what can happen now?
Yeah, this is where the partnership really begins. So with the 13-point plus and the 20-point plus programs, we're not just leaving you with that service report. Our team of specialists, they'll come in and they'll replace those worn guides, they'll change your hydraulic fluid, they'll install those necessary replacement parts right here, right now. We can schedule those quarterly visits so we can be your dedicated maintenance team. And really, you don't have to find the time or the labor. We can handle all of that.
I think that's a big thing about keeping my facility and my shop up and running. I appreciate everything you did today, everything you showed me. After today, I think we've realized to reduce downtime, we're gonna really need to shift our mindset. We're gonna need to go from being reactive to proactive. We're gonna need to analyze and identify situations before they become into real problems. Because by doing that, we can stay one step ahead. And if we can create a network of partners and create relationships with experts like the team here at Lenox, we won't be just maintaining some piece of equipment, we'll be protecting our entire operation. And now after all that, you and I, we know how to minimize downtime in your shop.
For more metalworking tips and industry best practices, stay tuned for the next how-to episode and subscribe to the MSC Industrial Supply YouTube channel, a source of original manufacturing content built to make you better.